Have you ever wanted to start your own YouTube channel? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you the top 5 lessons that I have learned so far after 3 months on YouTube. So if you're interested, stick around. If you're new to my channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Nanda, and I like to provide information for women over 40 that are looking to get stronger and healthier. But today, I'm not going to talk about my fitness journey. I am going to be talking about my YouTube journey. And the reason I'm doing that is because I feel that there's not enough content from women over 40 on YouTube. And I want with this video to plant the seed for those ladies out there that have been thinking about starting a YouTube channel and that are passionate about women and issues surrounding us in our age, and give you that opportunity to think about actually starting your channel. So with my journey and my lessons, hopefully you'll be on your way to starting your own channel. So with that, let's get started. Lesson number 1. The first thing that you need to learn about YouTube is that it has very specific process, okay? And it's a process that I've kind of come up with 4 separate steps, which I'm going to give you, that really take you through the production of your first video. And so the first step is the step of actually coming up with an idea for a topic or a story that you want to tell. So once you have the niche for your channel and what is the major subject line and who you're trying to target, you want to start creating a set of stories that you want to discuss on your channel. So the first order of business is getting your first story in, okay? Now sit down, develop that story, and come up with an outline of how you want to deliver that story. So once you're done with that, then you move on to step 2, which is really the step where you start looking at the recording of your video. And in this step, you need to think about what kind of equipment you have, where you want to shoot your video, and then just start planning things out. Do you need props for your video? What is it that you need? And so think about the production of your actual video for step 2. After you're done with the footage, then you need to edit, which is step number 3. In this step, you need to have a software program that you could start cutting and pasting all of your different footage, and also mixing graphics and music, and that in itself will take some time. Actually, editing is what takes me probably the most time to get done. So once you're done with the editing, then you move on to your step number 4, which step number 4 is where you need to come up with a good title, a description. You need to have a thumbnail, okay, that goes along with your video, and then maybe tags that you want to put into the video description. So you need to take a little bit of time to actually package your entire video for YouTube to be able to know what it is that you're talking about. And so once you're done with that, then you actually post your video, or you schedule your video to go out into the public. So that's lesson number 1, understanding that there's a process to the entire madness of creating a video. So lesson number 2 really has to do with producing more than one video. Obviously, YouTube is a catalog of videos, so that's what you want to produce, a catalog of videos related to the topic that you want to discuss. And so lesson number 2 is really about time commitment, and knowing that creating all of those videos is going to require time. And from my understanding of research that I've done from other YouTubers is that YouTube really likes to see that you are creating consistent content. And so they like to see that if you're going to be creating content on a weekly basis, that you're doing it consistently. Some people choose to start out with weekly videos. Some people go as far as doing 7 videos a week, just as many as your time permits. So you really do need to have a good understanding as to how much time you're willing to commit to providing YouTube with your content. So again, if you're a busy mom or you have a very demanding job or both, then you need to decide what amount of time you actually can devote to the creation of your content. But once you do that, do it consistently. If it's once a week, then do it once a week. If it's once a month, from what I know, and again, I haven't been in this that long, but they prefer that you have more. But then again, there's nothing that's really holding you to having to do it, once a week. But if you want to build your channel and your material, the more you do it, the better. All right. So then let's move on to lesson number 3. And it really has to do, again, with this whole time commitment. And it's really about planning. So lesson number 3 has to do with planning your content and when you're going to be producing your content. And so going back to this whole thing about looking at your time commitments and knowing that if you have a personal commitments that you have to get through first, then you need to be able to get those out. But schedule your commitments with YouTube as if it were a business. So make sure that you schedule those in your calendar and get to the point where you can produce and release your video. Okay. Now, in terms of planning out your future content, this is where I'm also learning now that instead of just thinking about my videos on a week-to-week basis, I'm starting to now look at my videos on a longer term basis, meaning that I have a calendar and I have roughly about 2 months worth of ideas of what I want to publish for those weeks. And so you do need to do a little bit of research, you need to think about it and really start putting and laying out the foundation for what's to come on your channel. So planning is key to the success of posting consistent videos on YouTube and building your channel. So lesson number 4 is about testing and exploring. And in this phase where you're learning so much about YouTube, about how to use software programs, how to use your equipment, you need to give yourself time at some point to start testing different topics and materials based on the niche that you're working on. And so this is a great time for you to be aware of what it is that's working for you. And I'll tell you that in my case, it wasn't until I got to about 8 to 10 videos that I started to see the difference between how one video is doing versus the other, because at the beginning nobody is really watching, which in some ways that's the perfect time for you to learn, to explore and to test, because nobody really is watching. So go out there and fail and succeed, whatever. Just go out there and put some videos out there and see how they work, because those videos are going to give you data as to what's working for the audience and what you're willing to put out there for them. So again, it's just about testing, learning, and exploring. And I know that this particular lesson is probably going to be ongoing for a very long time, but I feel that it's super important for you to know that you can just go out there and nothing is right or wrong. You just have to put it out there. Okay. And so with that, I go into that last lesson, which is lesson number 5. And it's really about being less afraid. So like I said, you need to just put yourself out there and be less afraid of what others are going to think about you. Because if you allow the opinion of others to dictate what you do and how you communicate with the world, then you're just limiting yourself. And I feel that in the moments where we feel the most fear, and when we lean into that fear and we challenge it, is at the point where we actually stand to see the most growth. And so I urge you to not put excuses in your path about not doing this because you don't have time. Be true to yourself, because I know that for me, I've been wanting to do this channel for years now, for maybe 3-4 years, and I just haven't had the guts to do it. And I have allowed that inner self-doubt to stop me from going out there and wondering who's going to want to watch me. And so it doesn't really matter. If you're here and you're watching, it's probably because you care to watch. And yes, not everybody is going to want to watch, but some of you are. And if I can touch someone and actually, like I said, plant that seed and get some women out there to start creating some fantastic content surrounding what's going on with us women at this part of our life and this age, then that is going to be so amazing. And so I want to give you guys this kind of content in the future, and come in and check in with you and let you know. But I also want you, if you're interested, to share your thoughts and come down and give me a comment below, or you can even direct message me on my Instagram handle, which I have included below in the description. Just go ahead and write me a message and let me know how you're doing. Ask me any questions if you have any, and whether it's pertaining to the fitness journey or my journey on YouTube. And so I also wanted to take a moment to thank every person that has watched my videos up till now, because it's because of you that I am creating this content, and I want to continue creating this content. So if you like the ideas and the content that I've put in front of you over these last 3 months and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe today and give me a like if you liked the information on this video. And that's it. So with that, everybody, I am wishing you a stronger and healthier life.